Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Awesome Finds. Now today I am featuring all new vinyl. That's right, all of these records were pressed within the last couple of years or even this year. And I'm gonna start with ones that were given to me, and then the back half are gonna be ones that I personally bought for my own collection. So with that, let's get started. First up, we have Attack the Block soundtrack. Now, this was sent to me by I Am Shark, who put this out on vinyl, and this is from 2017, but the film is from 2011, and can you believe I haven't seen this? I don't know how I missed this. This is a gatefold opening up. I think that's a spoiler. You got an alien right there, and on the back there you get a lot of credits and whatnot, track listings. But what's cool is you get a little blurb by Joe, the director, and Steven, the composer. That's pretty cool. But the coolest part is yet to come. Let me show you the records themselves. These things, man, when I Am Shark contacted me about these, I was like, what? Glow in the dark vinyl? I don't know if I've ever seen this before. I know this can't be the first record to do this, but I know it doesn't look like much now. But man, you get these in the dark. Although I will say you got to charge them up. You don't want to leave them in the sunlight, direct sunlight. No, that's bad for vinyl. But you know, good strong light, and then go into a dark room, or better yet, use some black light. But what's also neat is that the label has some glow in the dark here. The labels are very similar. It goes disc 2. And you have side C, side D, and let's grab... Oh, and by the way, these came in these black paper sleeves too, which I think is pretty sharp. And here is... here's disc 1 with side B, and there is side A. Now, like I said at the top, I haven't seen this film, but I actually really enjoyed the soundtrack. It's cool. It's a cool mixture. Electronic kind of music with more like orchestral stuff, real intense kind of stuff. It's not something you kind of want to zone out to while you're working. These are still available. I highly encourage you guys to go over to their website, I Am Shark, check them out, pick up this record. But you know what also? I didn't realize this, but I Am Shark also has a lot of clothing. And it's kind of cool stuff. Like they have some flannel and the different t-shirts and stuff. So I was surprised. Oh, hoodies? Not hoodies. I guess hoodies, but I mean beanies too. I don't know. I didn't realize that. So up next we have, I hope I'm saying this right, Hi Maya. And this is the mysticism of sound and cosmic language. This is on Smogvale Records. And I believe this is from 2018 or 17. If you guys remember, I did First Impressions on Alan Ravenstein, and he was a part of this. And he went on to form Per Ubu. I hope I'm saying that name right. This is the predecessor to that band. And this consists of recordings around 1972 and 1973. Some of it's studio recordings, some of it's live recordings. Overall, man, really cool stuff. Kind of trippy, definitely out there, freeform, a lot of fun to listen to. I really enjoyed this. And then, like every Smogvale release that I've seen, tons and tons of information. Not only do you get all of this, they also include this extensive booklet. So you can really find out all about the band, where they're coming from. And I like how this one has inclusions of flyers of when the band was playing. And it's interesting how the names sort of change. Like it was Hi Mia, and then it morphed into this other spelling, Hi Mia, and then it finally went over to this side. So I don't know if the band themselves are going through changes in terms of how to call themselves, or if over the phone people didn't understand how to spell it when they ran some advertising. Not really sure. But yeah, look at tons and tons of information. I have yet to really even scratch the surface on here. But again, another excellent release by Smogvale. Really cool label. You guys should check them out if you haven't already. I think they're doing some really cool work. And this is just another stellar example of that work. And let's show you guys the records real quick. I'm going backwards again, I seem. Here's record 2, side C and side D. Now this is kind of a, what do they call that? A splatter, kind of a marbled look. It is on the thinner side. Again, very similar blue marbled splatter kind of thing going on. This is side A and there is side B. So this is a band like I wasn't sure if I was really even gonna like, but based on Alan Ravenstein's work, I actually, it's actually more accessible than that record, in my opinion. So I definitely encourage you guys to take a chance. Also, last year, Henry Rollins put Per Ubu on his top 10 albums of 2017. There was a re-release. I don't know if it was on Smogvale, but it's the same, a lot of the same members are in that band are in this band. So I don't know if you guys like Henry Rollins' taste in music. This might be a pickup for you. All right, so these next two kind of go together. We're gonna start with Blind Idiot God, and this is Undertow. This is a re-release of an album that came out in 1988. And this is actually, it's a double LP, but the second LP plays at 45 RPMs and it features Henry Rollins, oddly enough. Just talking about him, I must have him on my mind right now. And it's a song called Freaked, and the second LP actually was recorded in 1993. So there's a little bit of time between the two records. But what's interesting is that this is a completely new cover. I actually like this cover a lot more than the original. And if you've never heard of Blind Idiot God, they are another band, I think, out of the Midwest, St. Louis area. They kind of had this real, what did I write down? I wrote some notes down here. What did I say? Yeah, punk, post-rock, dub, industrial, very eclectic mix. It leaves you uneasy. It's kind of noise-inspired rock, and it's very guitar-driven. What is his name? Andy Hawkins. He's like the real driving force of this band. Now, I will say that the first disc is all instrumental, and it's only the second disc with Henry Rollins and this other guy, John Zorn. Those are only two songs that have vocals on it, and it's, you know, it's kind of a separate recording. I don't know if they were singles or whatnot. I actually really enjoyed it, but just be forewarned that it's a real flip-flop. Like, it's real, like, heavy, industrial kind of post-rock, not sludge or anything, but just real heavy stuff. And then it kind of switches to this more dub music. But look at this beautiful inner artwork, and you get some nice little context for the band. You can find out a little bit about who they are. This is the first record. This is side A. It's on a very... looks like a, you know, it's got a slight metallicness to it. It is a gold in color, and then there is side B. And this one is, like I said at the top, it does play at 45 RPMs, which kind of threw me for a loop there. It doesn't say it on there. But this is actually a really cool song. I recommend you guys checking it out. It's called Freaked, featuring Henry Rollins. This is the long version. There's also a shorter version that is preceded by Purge Specimen, featuring John Zorn. Really cool stuff. If you're into that era of music, check out Blind Idiot God. I recommend them. Now let's talk about this next record. This is also by Andy Hawkins of Blind Idiot God. This is called Azonic. The record is called Prospect of the Deep Volume 1. And it is just two songs, Oblivion of the Deep and The Argonaut's Reckoning. Or I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. And this is also from 2017 on Indivisible Music Corp. So this was really cool stuff. Very much more free-form noise music. Very, very experimental, very much out there. But there's some artistry going on. Like Andy Hawkins, I can't say that I could do what he does. And apparently he plays a 7-string guitar and a double neck guitar. So you can imagine a lot of the sounds he's making with sustains and feedback and possibly looping. Really, really cool stuff. I like this because I can kind of like, there was nothing it was trying to get out of you. It was more like an art piece. Like, what do you get out of it, kind of a thing. Now let's check out the record itself. I don't think this came on it. I think this was just standard black vinyl. Yeah. So nothing too exciting here. But this is side A, Oblivion of the Deep, and then side B. But yeah, Azonic. Prospect of the Deep Volume 1. Yeah, man, I say put that on your radar if you're into noise music, noise-inspired rock, guitar-driven music. Up next, we have the Doppelgangaz with Lone Sharks from 2013 on Groggy Pack Entertainment. I had never heard of this band, and this was sent to me by Sacha. Now, if you've been following the show, Sacha's sent me a couple records over the years. He lives in Germany, I believe, but he always sends me chocolate, and this was no exception. He sent me some apple bourbon. Oh man, I've been waiting to taste this. This sounds so good. But before I get to this, I just want to talk about this record real quick. This is kind of like old school, kind of smooth hip hop. Like, this is the kind of stuff I love. Just a lot of samples, kind of laid back, really good rhymes. Oh man, I love everything about this record. So thank you so much, Sacha, for sending this to me. Let's check out the records themselves. I love that shark, by the way. So yeah, this is the first disc. This is side A, and then that is side B. I love that guy. And let's check out the other record here. This is, so you got side C and side D. I've been dying to try this chocolate. This looks so good. What? It's got a little pamphlet in there, little registration card. All right. It's gold wrapped. I've got the ticket and going to see Willy Wonka. Oh, that smells delicious. Woohoo! Oh, man. Oh, wow. That is good. You really taste that apple. The apple comes through good. Man. It's like a little kind of marzipan-y interior with milk chocolate around it, but man, we don't get chocolate this good here. This is so good. Thank you so much, Sacha. this is like heaven. So then I was sent this record. I believe the artist is named Books. I could be wrong, and that is him, and it's on Crystalline Records. It's a one-sided record. There appears to be some Morse code on there. I forgot to look that up. But it is a self-produced LP. There's the blank side with the moon. I like that label, by the way. This is like if Johnny Cash and David Lynch got together and made a project. That's what this is. It's sort of Americana, but Americana Nightmare, just sort of like Trailer Park After Dark. Not sure if this is a safe place to be. Not that it's spooky, but it's got like a kind of off-kilter vibe about it. Ah, man, really kind of interesting stuff. I wish he had included a letter so I could tell you more about the band and the artist, but that's all I got. I'm sure there's a Bandcamp, maybe, possibly. If you guys are curious, check it out. So this next record is a Dennis Wilson record called Bamboo. I think that's how you say it, the Caribou Sessions. This was released in 2017. This was part of Record Store Day last year. And I actually didn't pick it up for Record Store Day. I traded a viewer. His name is Tino. And he really wanted to win the National Sleep Well Beast, and he didn't win, but he reached out to me anyway, said, hey, I have some records I don't want. Would you be willing to trade for a copy of that? And I said, okay, sure. So I sent him a copy, and he sent me this, and oh my goodness, I really enjoyed this. So Dennis Wilson, obviously brother of Brian Wilson, he made a really great album called Pacific Ocean Blue, and then he was in the works of making his next album, his follow-up, really promising, but then he drowned. He died, and it was never finished. And so this is the cobbled together of all those tracks. I don't know if they had to finish some of them, like mixing and whatnot, but that's what this is. That's what this represents. And I don't know if this was released before 2017. I have a feeling it was, but this is a brand new artwork sleeve for it, which I think is just gorgeous. I love the design of this. And the music on here is really good. My favorite song, though, is Constant Companion. That, to me, could have been a hit on the radio. Guarantee it, man. When I heard that song come on, I was like, what? I gotta put that needle back. I gotta listen to that song again. It was really, really good. And it kind of broke my heart a little bit, knowing like how troubled he was and how, well, what I'm getting at is, actually, no. Well, there's the inside here. But on the inner sleeves here, it talks about what went into the recording of it. And that's what I was getting at, is just that to hear the story of his, he's dealing with alcoholism and just being down and out and not kind of like having a lot of self-esteem and just, I don't know, man, it's just heartbreaking. Really cool images, and then you get credits and stuff. So let's show you the records real quick, because they are on a pretty cool color green vinyl. Here, I don't even know what record this is. Here we go, side 1. So it's a dark green, but there's also some darker parts to it, maybe like a black, or I'm not exactly sure, but it kind of gives it a marbled effect. Goes well with these labels. And yeah, so there is side 3. And there is side 4. If you're a fan of Dennis Wilson, Brian Wilson, like later era Beach Boys, really recommend you guys pick it up. Check it out at the very least. So this next record was sent to me by the artist Laura Ainsworth. She sent me this record plus 2 of her CDs. I believe she has 3 CDs in total. And this record represents like the best of her stuff. This is her first pressing on vinyl. She wrote me a nice letter, which was really lovely. And her father is Bill Ainsworth. He was a big band leader. I wouldn't say big band leader, but she wrote it here. Renowned big band / showroom musician and radio jingle singer. He played with Tony Bennett, Ella Fitzgerald, Mel Torme, Tom Jones, Marilyn McCoo. And, she obviously adores Julie London, like me, and she very much sings in that style, but in her own way. And what I mean by style is like, it's like she's got a nice jazz combo backing her, and she has a lot of fun singing, and it's a nice record to put on in your bachelor pad or in the vinyl pad like I am here. And on the back there, she did autograph it for me, which is pretty cool. Congratulations, Laura, for putting out a record on vinyl. That was a dream of mine that never got to happen when I was in a band, but I'm so glad to hear that you did that. And she put the record in this nice polyline paper sleeve, which is really cool. And I love these labels here on Electus Records, a stereophonic recording. Love that kind of recreation of old style records. And this is from 2017. If you're looking for more new music in the style of the old crooners, definitely recommend checking out Laura Ainsworth. So up next, we have another self-produced record. This is The Great Sadness with their album Weep from 2017. This was a record that they sent to me directly, and you know what? They didn't actually include much else with it. I was kind of surprised to get it. And they do what's called experimental blues. So immediately I was intrigued. And I gotta say, I didn't really like it or get it on the first pass. I was just like, this is it. Yeah, whatever. Make up whatever excuse you want. And that's what I had. But, I tried it again, and I like it. I like it. It's definitely lo-fi in the sense that it's just guitar and drums, but they do make a lot of sound with it. If you're into, say, the White Stripes, you might really like them. They're a Los Angeles duo. Kathy Cooper does the guitars and vocals, and Stephen McNeely does the drums. Now, Kathy, I like her singing. It's very vibrato heavy. You know what I mean? Like I did it terribly, but she does it much better than me. She has that kind of grit to her voice as well, on top of that vibrato. And it's kind of like, sometimes it makes you feel a little dirty listening to it, if you know what I mean. Which is so interesting because when you look at the cover, you're like, oh, what is this? Another like indie rock group? What is this, man? But like Spy versus Spy. But yeah, this totally belies what hides underneath, very much in contrast, but I think this kind of gives it away, this sort of like hand scrawled with a knife kind of carved in the thing. I like this artwork on the inside. Woo, how cool is that, right? I like that little bit of blood or a little bit of red kind of streaking across here. I want to show you guys the record real quick because I think it's pretty cool. I think you guys will dig it. It's a white vinyl, but it's kind of milky. There's a little bit of black specks going on too. And then there's side B with these crazy freaking nails. This guy with, how many digits does he have there? 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 fingers. Oh man. Imagine the kind of piano you could play with 8 fingers on one hand. That's pretty cool. So yeah, The Great Sadness. Pretty cool band. I'll have to check them out because they're local. I'd love to get in touch with them. See what they're up to. So those are all the records that were sent to me. Now we're gonna move on to records that I personally bought. And first up, I picked up these 4, well technically 5, from the Secret store. This is part of Jaguar. And so UMO, you know, Unknown Mortal Orchestra, they have their new record out. That's what this is. This is Sex and Food. And they're doing this thing like, oh, you want this one? Well, why don't you buy this one for, you know, $10? I was like, oh, I'll add it on. So this is their previous release. This is, what is it called? Multi-Love. I love this album. This was a pick of the week when it came out. Came in this nice lyric sleeve. I love that color, the pink and the yellow. This is just your standard black vinyl, side 2, there's side 1. I splurged on this, I don't even know what you call it, one of the deluxe packages of Sex and Food. So I got, well, I got a lot of stuff. So let's start off with the first thing I got, which is this journal thing. I was so confused by this, because like, wait, Ministry of Alienation, what the heck is this? And I open it up and it's got this everyone acts crazy nowadays.com, and it's the Age of Paranoia, Sex and Food 2018, and it's this little, it's like a little diary. I'm not really sure, I haven't really read through it too much. Honestly, it's a little confusing the way it's all laid out, but then it's just blank after that. And the pages go down, so it actually, so now if we go all the way to the back, that will be page... well, that's page 2, and then it says this is the end. Kind of curious. I don't really know what this is all about, but heck, I think it's cool. It also came with this extra 12-inch of SB3 and SB4. I actually really like this. This is kind of the reason I wanted to pre-order this album, was I like the sound of both of these tracks, and sure enough, really cool stuff. They also did this for Multi-Love. That was SB1 and SB2, so this is a follow-up to that. Also came with a poster, which is actually pretty big. I was surprised how big this was. Certain orders, this thing would be autographed, but I didn't really care. I didn't want to import this from the UK. So yeah, kind of a cool poster. Variation on the front cover. The record itself comes in another lyric sleeve like the previous release. And yeah, there's that pink vinyl right there. Check that out. Honestly, I haven't really had a chance to listen to this. I've been so busy writing new episodes that I listened to this maybe once on a live stream, and that's as far as I've gotten. I think if you guys like UMO, you're probably gonna like this one too. So when I pre-ordered that UMO record, I also pre-ordered New Material by Preoccupations, and it was the same deal. They were like, oh, so you want that one? Well, how about Viet Cong's first album? And I'm like, oh, dang it. Okay, I'll get that too. Because I really like Preoccupations. Now, if you guys don't know, Viet Cong was the original name of the band, but for maybe obvious reasons, this was deemed offensive. And came in this full color sleeve with lyrics on the back. Here's the vinyl. This is side B, and there is side A. I kind of like how it matches the inner sleeve photograph there. So anyway, I'm sure if you've probably already checked out this album. I honestly haven't checked it out yet. So yeah, this is the Preoccupations new one. Again, same thing with the UMO. I only really listened to it on a live stream, and that's been about it. And I thought this was the title of the record, this circle, triangle, square. It came with a lyric insert. So there is side A and side B. And the record itself is on this kind of this gray marbled thing, which I think looks really, really nice. There is side A. And there is side B. So yeah, definitely looking forward to checking this one out. If you guys have already heard it, let me know what you think down below. Okay, so these next 3 records I got from Mayor Hawthorne. Now, he was running a record store day sale, 50% off of everything, and I was like, you know, that is a good deal. I can't pass that up. So I got 3 records. I got his debut record, A Strange Arrangement on Stone's Throw. This is the non-alligator reliefed cover. And it was kind of a trip to re-listen to this record because it's been so long since I've really listened to Mayor Hawthorne. And I remember when this came out, I absolutely loved it. Some of the singles on here were incredible. And, you know, I gotta say, it still holds up pretty good. It's, you know, I definitely like some songs more than others, but I think that's mostly because I'm not as familiar with those as I am with some of the other hits on here. Here is side C, and I love that Stone's Throw label right there. And you know that's a sign of quality in my book. Stone's Throw, man, they put out great stuff. Peanut Butter Wolf, there's a great documentary on him and Stone's Throw. I highly recommend you guys check that out. It goes into the formation of Stone's Throw and even before, and it goes into Jay Dilla and all kinds of stuff. Even up until like the last couple of years, whenever the documentary was released, I don't exactly remember. Here is side A, and there is side B. Now, the other record I bought of his, I think it was his second record. This is How Do You Do? This was, I think, his major label debut on Universal Republic. I remember when No Strings came out, and that was a fantastic single. I don't like this record as much as his first. I just feel like there's a little bit more of an earnestness about this first one. It feels a little bit more, not genuine, but just sort of like, just like, hey, I'm just gonna make this. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but he was a DJ, or is still a DJ. I'm not sure what he does now. I'm sure he sings a lot, but he kind of made this on a whim because he wasn't happy finding the music he wanted to spin, so he just decided to make his own music, and yeah, it turned out really well for the guy. What is that? That looks so comfortable, yet kind of itchy at the same time. Very awkward photo right there. Let's check out the records here. So there's side A and side B. There's side C, and there is side D. This is a record I'll probably revisit, and it might grow on me more. We'll see. But this is the record I absolutely adore. This is Tuxedo's Debut. This is a collaboration between Mayor Hawthorne and Jake 1. I love this stuff. If you're into that Minnesota sound, like Morris Day and the Time, that kind of music, oh man, so good, so good. Tuxedo, I love this when it came out, and you get a lady with a keyboard right there, and the digital download code just fell out. I wanted to pick up their second release, but it was all sold out on his website, so I was only able to get this one. But still, awesome record. Highly recommend you guys check it out. And this also is on Stone's Throw, which, as I said before, is a seal of quality in my book. So here is side A, side B. I love how Tuxedo is across the Stone's Throw. Here is side C, followed by side D. This to me is like Mayor Hawthorne at home. Like, I liked what he was doing before. I absolutely adore him on this. This is like the best of both worlds. I really feel every song on here is great. I don't feel the same about these other albums, but this one, really good in my book. So happy I picked up this one. Up next, we have Descend by Emil Rottmayer on Dream Girl Records from 2017. This showed up on Sly Vinyl. Really great resource. If you guys aren't already using it, I highly recommend putting that as a bookmark on your browser and tuning in every day just to see what new vinyl comes up, because they're dedicated to limited edition vinyl, but they also have their own record label too, and they put out their own music. And oh man, just freaking love this record. I had it on repeat. I had the download code. I was listening to that all the time. Really cool stuff. Very synthy 80s. I think I played this on a live stream, and one of you viewers said that it It had kind of a taiko feel, but much more synth heavy. And I think that's a great way to describe this. Really cool stuff. I highly encourage you guys to check it out. Let me show you the record itself. It is, it's just black vinyl, nothing too crazy, but it sounds really nice. This is side A and side B. Okay, so if you guys have been following the show for a long time, you know I love exotica music. And when I saw this at this really cool gift shop here in LA, I was like, wait, this is a new record. Voodoo 3, The Exotic Sounds of Robert Drasnin. What is this? And it's on Dionysus Records. They're a local record company. And oh my gosh, I was skeptical. I will tell you, I was skeptical because new exotica just doesn't always do it for me. But this is an old school artist. He put out the first voodoo record back in 1959. And then he ended up teaching at UCLA for many, many years. And then he came back and released Voodoo 2, I think in 2007, that says right here. Unfortunately, Robert passed away in 2015. So he's no longer with us, but a lot of real dedicated folks put this together to preserve this music, and I'm so thankful that they did because it's just beautiful stuff. I love this record. I was so happy I bought this, and it was less than $20. But here is the record itself. Oh, look at this. And it's like a pretty heavyweight vinyl. On blue, this is side A, and this is side B. I love these record labels too. They remind me of budget labels back in the 50s and 60s. Oh, this is a special one to me. I about freaked out when I got the notification by Mondo that they were pressing this. Now, this is the original motion picture soundtrack to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I have to warn you, if you pick up a copy, it leaves fingerprints like nobody's business. It's insane how much this will pick up fingerprints, but it's on this very special paper. It's very metallic, but that's to recreate the CD prop that was in the film. This to me is so very special. I grew up with that film and I thought that CD was so cool. And as much as, you know, I've always wanted to own the soundtrack. I think at one point I did on CD, but never on vinyl. This is so cool. I'm gonna set this down and show you what it comes with. This is the inner sleeve. It's the Circuits of Time directory, history at your fingertips. And it's simple, but it definitely does the job well. It also included this tear out from the yellow pages. I love they included this. You know, you can travel to all the places that they traveled. This is, I believe, side A and side B. And believe it or not, I actually really like the music on here. Well, that'll do it for this time around. I want to thank everyone who sent me a record. I really appreciate it. You didn't have to do that, but you did it anyway. So awesome. And I want to thank all of you for watching. Be sure to leave me a comment down below. Let me know which of these were your favorite records. Until then, I'm your Vinyl Geek, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Hey guys, thanks again for checking out this episode of Awesome Finds. If you're hungry for more, I put a playlist right there as well as a video that YouTube will choose for me, so go ahead and click away.